Well, good evening. My name is Brittany Francis, and I am so incredibly excited that you are joining us this evening, this Tuesday night for Testimony Tuesday. Testimony Tuesday is literally our favorite night of the week, and the reason why is we come together as a family and we invite people that we know desperately need hope. This technology we truly believe to be the most prolific regenerative technology of our lifetime, the most disruptive technology of our lifetime, because we're so used to just having to take so much medication in order to just even mask something that's happening. We love Testimony Tuesday because we get to hear from one another about what is happening in our lives with this technology and give hope, pass hope to someone else. So if you're new, I want to say welcome, truly welcome. You're going to be able to find this recording at the top tier LifeWave channel. So that's going to be an incredible place that you can find many, many other Testimony Tuesdays. And so we're really excited to spend this evening with you. So every single person's testimony is going to be different. It's really important for you to hear. And the reason why is because every single person's body is different. And this technology is actually in the world of stem cells. This technology actually activates your body to heal itself. Okay, and to fix itself. Your body was created in an incredible way. So, this helps your body get put in the perfect optimal level that it needs to in order to wake up and do what it was created to do. So, why the stem cell activation technology? Well, by the time we're 30, half of our stem cells go dormant. That means that they go to sleep. By the time we're 60, 90% of them go dormant. And the fewer stem cells that you have, the faster you age and the slower that you heal. Okay, so when stem cells go dormant, your body breaks down. Now, what are stem cells? Let's talk about that quickly before we start sharing about the different testimonies of this evening. Stem cells are the master building block of the entire body. Okay, it's their job to naturally repair and naturally renew the body. They're a hot topic, right? You can go and get stem cells injected. Sometimes they're from yourself, sometimes they could be from someone else. And when that happens, you don't necessarily know that your body is either going to accept someone else's stem cells or if it's just going to process it out. And if it's your own stem cells, it's a very good possibility that they actually go dormant again, right back. Okay. So it's stem cells are a hot topic medically, right? Because it's their job to naturally repair and naturally renew the body. So if something is going on inside the body with various organs or tissues, your stem cells are the cell in the body, that master cell that has the ability to turn into whatever cell is necessary in the body. So let's say that it's nerve cells or cardiac cells that are needed to fix a certain area. Then your stem cells, if they're awake and alert, can turn into that, and then they can help fix whatever needs to be fixed in the body. So, perfect example, if I burn my hand on the stove and I have awake and alert stem cells, if I do nerve damage, my stem cells can turn into nerve cells, okay? Or skin cells, whatever it is for my body to heal. So, it can take care of inflammation, right? They take care of regenerating those cells that are worn out, that have viral issues, or if your body just needs to re-energize, and you're going to see at that level what ends up happening because of what your body is capable of doing when you put it in the right position. Now, David Schmidt is the founder and the CEO of X39, and the reason why I like to talk about him is because there are incredible testimonies that happen on Testimony Tuesday, and I want you guys, your friends who invited you to this, want you all to understand how this all came about. Because really, when you understand the history of LifeWave, it's really, really special. This gentleman has over 200 patents. By the end of next year, he's going to have closer to 300, if not over 300. Okay. He's the scientist, he's the inventor. Okay. And he specializes in age reversal. But years ago, over 20 years ago, he was actually contracted by the US military to come up with something that the Navy SEALs could use that would keep them awake for 24 to 36 hours straight, ready for combat. Okay, so he began to look at the body and he said, okay, let's look and let's lean into this. And what they said was, David, this cannot be something like an energy drink. This cannot be something that is a supplement. The body has to be able to do whatever it's going to do naturally because currently we're hooked on amphetamines. So he began to look at the body and the different chemical reactions that the body has. And he found specific scientists that had actually done the studies well before him. And one of them, he found the principles of light and color. Okay. This book is pretty incredible. When he began to look at this, the body actually has chemical reactions in response to different colors of light. So he was looking at this and he was like, okay, this is interesting. Then internally, he found that the body actually emits light called biophotons. Okay. And inside, the body has chemical reactions in response to this light frequency. So this man, he's so incredibly brilliant. He said, okay, if we have light inside us, we emit light, right? So we can find each other through an infrared gun, right? Not just because of our heat, but actually because of our light. We actually emit light between 1 to 2 centimeters off of our body. There's nothing weird about that. It's very scientific. So do lean into that piece because it's very important for you to understand that he said, okay, if we have this light frequency inside us, what happens if since there's chemical reactions that our body has when we accept light, what would happen if we reflect that frequency just back into us completely naturally? Well, he found that there was actually a red light frequency that when reflected back in the body produced adrenaline. This is well over 20 years ago. The Navy SEALs began to utilize this technology, and then Stanford University got wind of it. Michael Phelps began to utilize this technology. That's this gentleman right here with these little patches on right there. And then the swimmers began to utilize them at Stanford University and they broke records. So it's incredible to really lean into this and see the power of what this technology does. The body naturally elevated adrenaline. So that wasn't good enough for David. Okay, he was like, okay, this is good. The 9/11 hit, the military shifted their funding, but he was like, that's fine. He said, I actually know what I'm on to. And so I'm going to lean into this even more so. And he began to use an FTIR, which is an equipment that started studying the different frequencies of light. And he found all kinds of different colors. But he was on a mission, ladies and gentlemen, for one specific light frequency. And he didn't know exactly what he was looking for, but he knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to wake up stem cells. And so after 10 years and $4.5 million, this is why you're on tonight. This is our little beacon of hope. I just love it. The X39, this technology right here, what it does is it reflects a frequency of light back into the body. And the body naturally has a chemical reaction of elevating a GHKC peptide. See that pattern right there? That peptide elevated. The stem cells wake up. Okay. The body does many, many things, but that actual peptide elevated is absolutely incredible. So the brain, the nerves, you see major changes. You see incredible changes with lungs, which, after COVID and all the things that we face, that's amazing. Hair, skin, nails, that all changes. So this peptide is literally known, literally, as the holy grail of healing. Okay, so you could actually inject this peptide, but what ends up happening? Your body processes it out, right? You can put it on your face, but what ends up happening? Well, it goes into your body and then your body just gets rid of it, right? That's what happens with skincare, right? So when you look at this, when your body is actually fixing things from the internal piece, major, major changes happen. Okay, so what is in this technology? Absolutely nothing is going into your body. Okay. This actually has nanocrystals that are embedded into a fabric disc. And when you look at it under a microscope, it's actually a mirror and that reflects that frequency of light. So there's literally nothing that's going into the body. What you have to picture is that there's actually dimmer switch inside your body, and then your body is starting to rise up, rise up. That light is starting to wake up, that GHKC is starting to wake up, and then the stem cells begin to go to work. Okay. And so Within the first few days, 4,000 genes, over 4,000 genes begin to reset. So the body goes back to the way it was before it was damaged. And then within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. So you see PTSD, anxiety, depression, memory loss, tons of different changes inside the body begin to happen in the brain. Okay, so you're going to think about this. Like my grandmother, she was diagnosed with memory loss last January. Well, we started patching her, and about week 7, she began to remember my children's names, their birthdays, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, and if I called her back. So it's just incredible. Special needs children, we're seeing amazing things happen with special needs children. Then within 3 months, the collagen is actually increased. So that's huge. So the collagen is actually the matrix of your body. So begin to think about the matrix, that matrix of your body, your ability to move, the elderly, okay, their ability to move, right? That begins to happen. And then within 6 months, it's clinically proven that the cardiovascular age of the heart reverses. So it's not anti-aging. This technology is literally age reversing. Okay, so it's absolutely incredible to see what ends up happening. We're going to be hearing some testimonies tonight, and I just love it. And if you're going to also share, please do. Please get ready because we love to hear what is happening in each of your lives. So, this is actually the latest study. After 3 years of research, you will actually see that after utilizing this technology, for 6 months, the average age reversal is 8.5 years. Isn't that amazing? So it's successful in 86% of people tested that the age reversal was 8.5 years. Why? At the telomere and mitochondrial level, the body begins to fix itself. So that's why you see such incredible changes. So, before we jump into these testimonies, I want to make it clear that nothing is going inside your body. Nothing. Okay. It's just a proprietary form of phototherapy. So, when you go outside, your body accepts that light from the sun. Well, your body produces vitamin D. When this reflects, what you can see right here, when this reflects that frequency of light back into the body elevates that GHKCU. Okay, so non-dermal, non-transferable. I was on medication for my thyroid for years. I began to utilize this technology, and what happened was absolutely incredible. That frequency of light, I mean, I wasn't even thinking that my thyroid could be fixed. I was utilizing it for my arm because my arm there was just horrific discomfort in my arm. And my body on day 47, I went to the doctor and I said, what's going on here? I don't feel right. Well, the doctor called me back after 90 or after 3 days. I'm sorry, after 3 days. And he said, Brittany, stop doubling up your medication. And I wasn't doubling up my medication. So it's incredible to see what ends up happening when you utilize this technology. It's extremely sophisticated but very, very simple to explain. Okay, so if you jumped on here tonight because you're like, gosh, whoever loved you enough to say, hey, get on tonight, what I want you all to know is that it's going to work. Okay, it works on everybody, on everything, every single time, given enough time. So, 70% of people feel a miracle between 5 minutes and 5 days. 97% of people feel a miracle within 90 days. That doesn't mean that it's not working right away. What that means is that the body is working, and if it's working on an internal level, okay, then sometimes it takes a while to see other things happen. Okay, so I definitely wanted to make that clear. Now, very excited. We have so many incredible testimonies tonight. And Tina, I would love to open up. And then if you want to share, please definitely. I know that there are several others that had reached out. Please know that I would love others to also share as well. So, Tina, I would love for you to share and just tell us what has happened because I'm so excited.
Okay, so I want to share a testimony about a healing from my 4 years of chronic hip pain. So what that looked like was pain, sitting at my desk, sitting in the car, sitting at a restaurant, walking upstairs, and we live on the third floor, and especially sleeping on my side. I could not sleep on my side. It was just a constant pain. I saw two orthopedic specialists, lots of chiropractic help. I completed two physical therapy sessions. I had 3 rounds of x-rays, an MRI, two steroid shots, and still really no help at all. So I was talking to my friend from college, and well, actually, I was whining to my friend at college, telling her about my poor old achy hips. And she told me about this patch that she had put on her shoulder, and it helped her body to heal from a frozen shoulder. And did I want to try it? So I didn't have anything to lose, sure. So also, she sent me a testimony of a woman who had had bursitis in her hips that completely went away after 3 months. So I was like, yes, 3 months, I can do it. So I started patching, and at week 5, I would say my pain went down to about 50%, but I wasn't sure it was a patch. I was still kind of on the fence. So by the next week, 6 weeks, it was 75% better. At 2 months, y'all, it was gone. And we've been patching for 5 months now.
Yeah.
My hips don't hurt at all. I can do all the things I couldn't do. In fact, yesterday, Jim pointed out that I sat on the floor and played a game with my grandkids for an hour and had no pain in my hips. I didn't even notice it. Jim had to tell me. So,
She got up and I said, how did you do that? Didn't even complain about it. So it was
yeah.
amazing.
It's amazing. So I'm so thankful to God for healing me through this patch. And if you're not patching, just want to say, patch up. Thanks for letting me share.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Well, that's the first time I'd heard. So I'm just so excited because I know this is still just the beginning, right? So it's just like, it's just going to get better and better and better. So I just can't wait for you to keep on sharing. So it's just so good. Thank you, Miss Tina. Okay, so Joy, we have Joy, and I have not yet gotten to hear Joy and her testimony. So, Joy, where are you at? Oh, there she is. She looks beautiful. Let me go ahead and spotlight you. And she's
Mm.
trying. There you
Okay.
go. Hi.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are
Okay.
you?
I'm good. I'm great. And I'm so happy to be here tonight. I'm so thrilled to share. This is just one of my testimonies, and I'll start with just the one tonight. And I want everybody to keep tuning in for future Testimony Tuesdays because I have so many of my own personal testimonies to share. So I'll start with number one. I started patching January the 7th, to be exact. And my daughter, Brittany Robinson, is the one that presented this to me. I have been on antidepressants for 36 years. It was just something that I had to have, or I thought I did. So I had gone through a spell. It started just to not work anymore. And they wanted to try a totally different one for me in a completely different family. So I had to go wean off of one while incorporating a new one. And I have never experienced anything like this in my life. It was horrible. You're crying 1 second, you're angry 1 second, you seem semi-normal one moment. Your body's going through so many different changes and you do not understand what's going on. So my daughter was sweet enough to listen. And so she reached out to me about the patch. And I was so desperate. I said, yes, I'm doing it right now because I trusted her. She has medical background knowledge and I trusted her. So I did it. And right away, I noticed my energy, of course. That was first. And then after that, oh, it took a little while for my body to regulate, but I trusted it and I didn't stop. I thought, I'm not giving up because this is my last hope because I cannot do this anymore. So it took several months, and then it started to regulate. And then I started realizing when I would take the antidepressant, I felt really strange, shaky, dizzy, just not myself, and sick feeling. So I went through that for quite a while. And then I realized my body's telling me that I don't need this anymore because it's supposed to regulate my body chemistry, my brain chemistry. So I let my doctor know. And my doctor, number one, said when I first went to him, and it was for a sinus infection, but I said, I'm about to start LifeWave patching, by the way. I just wanted you to know. He said, well, that's a win-win. You cannot do anything. It will bring you nothing but good. So I felt really great about it, you know. So anyway, that being said, I let him know. So we started decreasing my medication slowly. Even the lower doses, I could not tolerate anymore. I just could not tolerate it. So finally, I just was over with them. I didn't have to take them anymore. And I felt like I did when I was 25. And because I had to really think about it, like my mental state. And I had almost two children at that time, but I was happy. And, you know, my outlook on life was good. And I just had a happy feeling. And that's how I was feeling. And everyone was like, you're not taking your antidepressants. And I'm like, no. And they could not believe it because I was laughing and happy and enjoying myself when I have never been like that before, not on an
See
antidepressant.
something. All right.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, Mom, we can hear you. I think
Okay.
someone's had some audio issues.
Okay. So that being said, I am no longer on antidepressants for the first time in 36 years. And I was determined to get off of those because I was just sick of it. It was just a roller coaster, something, you know, all the time. You didn't feel quite right. And, you know, it was just time for me to do something different in my life. And it came at the perfect time because I was spiraling out of control. It wasn't working. Nothing was working. And it was a God thing for me. It came at the perfect time in my life. And I am so thankful for this. I am on fire for this technology because I know what it does. And I've witnessed it myself. I have felt it. I have helped other people along this road. And I have seen what it's done for them. And anyone, I just don't understand anyone not taking the jump to do it and try it. Why? Why do you want to keep taking medications you don't need? Because we really don't need them. And so that's my passion. And that is why I am here tonight, because I want to share this and I want to spread the word for it. I'm here to help people as along with helping myself. First and foremost, my family. That's where I started, as they did for me. And now it is spreading. I've helped so many of my friends and their family. And so I will just do this one testimony tonight because I have so many and I could go on about this one, but just to tell you that I no longer need that is like a miracle for me, a complete miracle for me, because I never ever thought that I wouldn't need them
I
or
love
that
oh, Joy. I love it. And that the name Joy just is perfect for you because you are a true
well,
joy.
thank you. Thanks to my dad, he named me. So
Well, I love it, Joy, and I can't wait to hear more and more about what is happening in your life. It's just so incredible. So
it is.
thank you
It's
for
just, I'm so
sharing.
thankful. You're welcome. And I'm so thankful to be here. And hopefully I will be able to help other people that are watching.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for holding that moment of just hope. Just hope. Alicia Rezak. So I am going to find you. This is the first time she's ever really been able to I'm going to find you, Alicia. So go ahead and click unmute. She's going to figure.
Okay.
There you are. There, you figured it out. Yay.
That's
All
great.
right. We can't wait to hear your testimony.
Well, I was in a car accident and broke my left knee 2 years ago, and I've had two surgeries on my left knee, and I didn't know about X39 or any of the patches then. I do now. And I when I broke my left knee, there was a lot of pain from surgery and a lot of pills. And when I heard about the technology, I had problem with my right knee and I had bone to bone, but I didn't want more surgery. So I heard about the 3-patch system for the knee in January. I started that, and in August, it's totally healed.
Okay, so I remember talking to you
Yeah,
about this.
baby.
Look, there's
Oh,
the
yeah, you
man
were.
that told you about it.
I
There's the
know.
man that told you about it. I remember talking to her on the phone. The car accident was absolutely horrendous.
True.
She went through a lot of trauma because somebody actually hit her with their car. And so this woman has been through a lot. So I remember standing in the gap and telling her, be faithful. So I'm so glad. So you're still in year one. So you still have so much going on. So this is just the beginning. And I'm so excited that you shared. Oh, I didn't know that. So thank you for sharing with us. I
I'm
love
happy to be here.
I love it. I love it. I'm so glad that you figured out how to get on Zoom because now we get to hear about from you more.
That's right.
All right. So the next I would love for Walter and Casey Hosing. So this couple is just absolutely precious. I got to meet them in San Antonio not too long ago, and I know that we've been standing in the gap for this family. They've been in my prayer journal big time. Big time. I don't think that they realize how much. So my husband and I really have fallen in love with them. And guys, we would love to just hear what's going on. Stand with you guys for continuous miracles. Okay, we're still standing in the gap as a family for continuous miracles. So share with us what's happening with you guys, what happened with your family, what's still going on, and what we're doing, and then I can share the screenshot of what we're seeing and what we're still believing for, because we're still going to pray with you guys and believe with you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for all of the prayers. They mean everything. So my dad, he has lived with us for 6 years. I've taken care of him for a very long time, but he's been right here in our roof for 6 years. And last month, at the beginning of last month, he was hospitalized for AFib, renal failure. Um, he had severe edema, pleural effusion, and it all stems back to his chronic liver problems. So his liver has put in a huge burden on his kidneys, and it causes his blood ammonia to go up. When the blood ammonia goes up, it triggers all of these secondary problems, the AFib and the renal failure, the edema, and all those things. Unfortunately, this time when he went into the hospital, he was not responding. He's 79 years old. He was not responding to any of the treatments, and it was getting really bad. I had only started patching him about a month before he went into the hospital. But I didn't stop I was at the hospital with him every day for 24 hours a day. And I was putting the X39, the Eon, and the glutathione. But at first I could only do glutathione every other day because I didn't want him to detox too fast. But he really finally started responding to the medicine, I guess, about a week later. And it was just in increments, but it was better than nothing because we were starting out with nothing. Um, there was a few days in there that this one would drive 2 hours to San Antonio uh, to get him some of the X2O water, and we would give him a cup of that water every day, and then he really started having major good, response to the medications. But I never stopped patching him in all of that time. And he also has, and this is just a secondary thing to all of those problems why he was hospitalized. He has a mass behind his left eye. He's had it for 4 years, and it hasn't grown in those 4 years until they scanned it last month when he was hospitalized to check on it, and they realized that it had grown. And so they were concerned because it was causing pressure against his left eyeball. It was causing his eye to push out some. So they scanned it last month, 5 weeks ago, and then they scanned it again last Monday. And hear me when I tell you, because this is no joke, that mass is gone, completely gone. Y'all, he's had it for 4 years, and it's gone in a month. That's incredible.
That's the technology we have on our hands.
I mean, and I'm a nurse. That's incredible.
Wow. So, what I want to do, because you are a nurse, Casey, is I would like to let's expand upon this for a minute, because so remember, guys, I did talk about that David Schmidt's brilliant, and so he found all kinds of different colors of frequencies of light. So he found one that's like more of a yellow, and so these guys all come in different colors according to whatever patch it is. I actually learned that from a dentist that told me that. But he found that there was actually a yellow light that when reflected back, the body actually elevates glutathione by 300%. And then, and so he found that there was just tons of different frequencies. There is one patch, and I'm actually wearing it right here. So this is the X39. This is the other patch. This is the Eon, because I had a moment today. And so, well, and so, the Eon, when you put that on your body, the body actually accepts that reflected frequency, and the body actually lowers inflammation and cortisol levels. And so we've actually have quite a few testimonies of these type of incredible things happening in the body, because Casey, can you explain inflammation for us in a medical way so that people can understand really what happens when inflammation is when we direct our care towards inflammation and get that down. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yes, I'll do my best. So essentially, you have inflammation because you get a flood of larger cells. Not only are your regular cells not in a healthy state, but then you get a flood of white blood cells, and they're larger, and so that's why our tissues expand, and that's why it becomes painful, because it's stretching beyond its normal boundaries. All of the tissues are, and sometimes it gets kind of clogged and congested, and so and then it becomes a vicious cycle. So your body is trying to fight the inflammation, but by sending all of your troop out, to go take care of the issue. But when they all show up, it's kind of like a concert crowd, and everybody gets jumbled together, and then it's hard to get it all to go away and to settle down. Whenever you return homeostasis to the body, and you send in the new cells, the stem cells that you wake up, that become what they need to be, because the body innately knows what it needs to do first. It prioritizes on its own. Right. Then it takes care of itself. It just goes in there, it just cleans house, and it stops the vicious cycle. So for instance, I know a lot of you probably heard about such a thing as a cytokine storm. That was a big thing talked about during COVID, and it was happening in the lungs. A cytokine is a type of white blood cell, and that's what happens. It goes in there, the cytokines storm in to try to take care of everything, but it sends so much of the troop in there that it becomes congested and it can't clear out. So that's why a lot of times inflammation becomes chronic. The body can't help itself because it doesn't have enough stem cells to help itself efficiently.
Wow.
I don't know how to explain
No.
that any better.
No, you explained that very, very well. And I didn't know, so I had autoimmune disorder, Casey, and I didn't know that a lot of the autoimmune disorder was due to inflammation inside the
Yeah.
body. So
Mm-hmm.
when you look at the body as a holistic standpoint and you take down the inflammation, then those stem cells can actually travel faster to where they need to go versus fighting through, like you said, the traffic. So
Yes.
we're going to be standing as a family in the gap. We have been standing in the as a family in the gap for you. I know that plants have been standing in the gap for you all, and you guys are just a precious couple. So we love you guys, and we're gonna still just be praying with you guys. We're just gonna be praying and standing in the
So
gap.
grateful.
So
Yeah, and when you join LifeWave, when you get into the family, you'll really understand how much everybody really cares how you feel, and the way you turn out. We want everybody to feel good and live life, and the way that God created us to, and that's the way the LifeWave family does. It's just not they're not gonna throw a patch on you and not care about you. We call anybody that we sign up, we call them back and see how everything's going and make sure everything's working right, because there's a lot of people that just like, well, it's not working. Yes, it's working. Just give it time because it will work. You just got to give it the time to work.
yeah.
It works. It works when you're not even thinking about it. And I mean, we wear the patch and we love it. We've seen a lot of stuff with it, and we're going to keep moving forward and helping people just like everybody else that's in part of the LifeWave family.
What a family to be a part of too. There is not one person in LifeWave that has not been so generous and willing, so willing to help in any way that they can. And that's something you don't see much anymore. But so we are so grateful, so incredibly grateful.
Well, we love you guys. We love you guys, and we know that we're going to do a lot of life together, a lot of life together. So, if you want to push react and you want to raise your hand, you absolutely can, and we'll open it up for more testimonies. Something that she spoke about earlier is the X2O. So, some of us have a beginning prototype of the X2O water machine, which will be coming out early 2026. And so it's really incredible when you look at what else is coming from LifeWave, but just know that your body is going to do what the body was created to do. And we're here to help your body get to the place where your body can actually heal itself. So I will say this real quickly that the GHKCU elevated can also help wound healing in animals. So my dog did actually slip, fall, and she actually tore her leg open. I don't do well with open wounds. And so I actually had to have somebody come over and help us. And I patched her, and the dog did absolutely incredible. So just know that even your animals, you can actually put the patch on your animal, and there's going to be some crazy, amazing things that happen. There's even a patch that is for horses that can actually take the horse out of a debilitated pain, and the horse can actually be able to function again. So it's absolutely incredible. I just want you all to know that as you utilize this, you're going to have a timeline that happens, and everyone's timeline is going to be completely different. Okay. There were tons of issues that I had that not until day 95, and now, even now, my eyesight is still improving. And so just know, and it's been 20 months. So just know that as your body, as you begin to utilize this technology, more and more things are going to happen to your body, and you are just going to see incredible changes along the way. My husband stopped snoring on day 3. And, he canceled his iron infusions on day 70. So just absolute incredible things. So you're going to wear the patch where you need it. Just to prove that it works, when you guys actually receive the technology, you're going to get a little book and it shows the back of the neck and underneath the belly button. That's not the only place that you can wear it, as you can tell, but you want to put it where you need it. Okay. They needed to prove that it works. So they needed a controlled area. So they chose underneath the belly button for the most open point to the gut, and then in the back of the neck for the most open point to the brain. Okay. So you can wear it 12 hours a day. You can take it off. Like I said, put it on your dog. It's activated. This technology is activated the second that you place it on your body, because your light frequency and your heat activates it. Now, as your heat is on this, the patch will break down, the mirror will break down. So it's good for about, they say 16, 20 hours, but you only want to utilize this for 12 hours. So you can, like, that's why I said you can put it on your dog in the inside of the collar and then just throw it away and put a new patch on the next day. You need to rest. Stay hydrated with electrolytes. That's very, very important. And there is a documentary that's called The Code of Creation that's coming out about this technology, about David Schmidt, about how brilliant he is. And this gentleman right here was utilizing the technology and couldn't believe, he's a producer. He couldn't believe that none of his people got sick. And he didn't know why. And he asked his wife, "What is this thing?" And he heard about it and he was like, "I've got to interview this gentleman." And he was just fascinated by David. So just know that you have a huge family that's going to be here to help you carry the light and help your family get to where we know that your body can get to. If there are testimonies tonight that you say, "You know what, I didn't hear about stroke, or I didn't hear about hair, I didn't hear," the answer is it works. So you can go to thisisitinfo.com and you can actually click testimonies, and you can find tons of testimonies about neuropathy, about neurological issues, whatever it is. And you can click it and find real life testimonies. So really great. And then just know that there's doctor Zooms. If you're a science person, you say, "I want more science. I want more science." There are tons that we have at our fingertips that we can send you. So it's all there. You can't patent placebo. And I look forward to this guy right here every single day, because this is my miracle inbox. I pray for it. You can wear it and share this technology, but really what Testimony Tuesday is about is get hope. Wear the technology. Okay. You want to share it with your friends, you can, but wear it. Okay, so you're going to want to get back to the person that invited you to this. Okay, so the core is just to see if it's right for you. Okay, you get 3 months of the X39. The advanced package, this is, whenever I have a couple, I do like to do the advanced, just simply because I love how Casey and Walter spoke about the other patches. There are other patches. The X39 is your mama bear patch. That is your mama bear. But I fell today, ladies and gentlemen, and so I placed an Eon directly on where I fell, and actually my entire arm was black and blue, because it's just the way I am. If you get to know me, I have these moments. I just tripped over my dog. And so, but it was amazing because look, so you can just package it really beautifully and put different patches together, but make sure no matter what that you utilize the X39. Okay. And then the premium is a great option if you have a large family. If you say, "Look, I want to patch everybody in my family." We have 4 children. And so we turned around and we patched every single one of them. So, guys, what I will tell you is that we know that on the other side of these Zooms, there's always hope. That's why we do this together as a family. So get back to the person. If you're new, welcome. Get back to the person that invited you to this, and know that we're going to be with you every step of the way as you walk out that testimony and you share on a Testimony Tuesday. God bless every single one of you. Have an incredible evening and take care. This recording will be at Top Tier Lifewave on the YouTube channel. So God bless every single one of you. Bye-bye.